Hello, so the goal of this video is to show new players what they should be focusing on in the beginning of the game and not overextend themselves, because you'll not really have a lot of fun in the free-to-play version of the game unless you have a very clear understanding of what you need to do in the beginning. Now, you can play with multiple squads in order to get the 50% battle rewards bonus in the beginning, but you will have to choose a faction just to play with them all the time at some point. So why is this so recommended? Because the research tree, even with the recent changes to economy and silver and research points, is still very hard. So your goal in the beginning of the game, I recommend you buy the premium account for the first month you play, otherwise it will be super hard. Not impossible, but super hard and not really fun. Your goal is to get to tier 2 at a research tree of a faction. You might be thinking, well, do you need everything from tier 2? Yes, because if you put a tier 3 weapon, okay, this is my favorite thing to show. So you have basically tier 2 on everything. You put a machine gun that is tier 3 over here, you'll be in another bracket. That will be impossible for you to play in, so yeah, you have to stay at tier 2 for as long as possible to get all of the research needed. So finish tier 2 in its entirety. Finish upgrading all of your squads, meaning get all of their max experience up, get all of their upgrades up, get their weapon upgrades as well, the weapons that squad can use. And for the machine gunner squad it will be the Madsen, for example. Also get as many other roles for your squad as you can. Now we'll speak about this in a little more detail soon. So in the beginning of the game you lose a lot of squad. By the way, the research is a bit weird because you will probably want to go into the cool stuff in the beginning, but you'll have to unlock the engineer squad by unlocking these Mosins, let's say for the Russians. The sniper squad by unlocking this rifle over here. As you can see, the heavy weapons will be available only at tier 2. So anti-tank, gunner, engineer, snipers. This is going to be kind of like the backbone of your army in the beginning of the game. So why these squads? Well, when you finish a game and if you are the best squad, for example the best sniper, the best engineer squad, the best assault squad, the best anti-tank, gunner squad and stuff like that, you'll get a medal. That medal can be a multiplier depending on how you do in the game. So basically, if you win a game, you get a 1.5 multiplier. If you have, let's say, 2 or 3 medals like this for the best squad or the best player in the squad, you can get a few multipliers that is basically like 1.2 or 1.3. So your rewards can be up to 1.8 times bigger or 80% bigger. At the beginning, the core of your squads will probably be the engineer squad. Also, keep in mind it's easier to be the best engineer squad if you're the only engineer squad in the game, or there are only 2 or 3 engineer squads in the game. Same for the medics. But I recommend you have the engineer battalion, the sniper battalion, and of course the anti-tank gunners, because they kind of cheat a little bit. Because they can get the petard, which kind of acts like a sniper rifle, a makeshift sniper rifle, and trust me, it can the easiest weapon you can use at long range to kill enemies because of the way it works. Don't think too much about it, just try it and you'll see it works. Plus you can destroy the tanks, you can do a lot more things with that. And then you will have to switch to some more specialized unit. Now if you don't have the premium, meaning you don't have 2 other slots, you can just use, in my opinion, the heavy machine squad, heavy machine gunner squad, the assault squad, the anti-tank squad. And for a vehicle, you just use the tank that has the most machine guns on it. Or, even better, just use this one over here. The tank is not so useful and I rarely use it, so I recommend you just unlock the truck over here because this will allow you to get even more points. So as you can see, the goal of each match is to get more points. Yeah, victory is nice, but usually you want to make sure you have at least a lot of points earned so you can advance your research or have enough silver to buy stuff. So let's go over the squad upgrade system. So what is this? You'll get a few points every time you level up. So is it hard or is it easy? It's super hard. So I recommend the first upgrades to a squad will always be the experience of the squad. I'll probably make some videos, I'll probably make a series of trying to level up the Japanese faction. So it will be a little more clear based on how I play. The first few levels will always be experience. Then if you want, you can go over here to tier 2 soldiers and also more experience for the machine gunner class. So this is for the entire squad and this will only be for the machine gunners. So take 3 levels over here, maybe take this up to level 2. And then you can start going into the increasing the squad size and increasing the specialty classes. What are the specialty classes? Well, The squad is made up of a few soldiers that are basically run-of-the-mill riflemen, and then the rest can be specialists. I recommend you put as many specialists as you can. But there is a catch. Don't buy riflemen. So when you upgrade your squad size, just leave it like that. When you upgrade it to have an extra machine gunner to the squad, yes, then you can buy it. So don't buy riflemen, just buy specialty soldiers. That means basically you'll be unlocking, let's say, +1 squad size, but you'll not actually be putting a soldier unless you have the extra specialist. Makes sense? Yeah, it will make sense when you play the game more. Because these guys have their own perk system, their own level up system more or less, so that as you can see, you have to choose a few things. Mostly is going to be the crouch or crawling or crouching movement speed, this one over here. Medpack usage speed, this is super important, and then the run speed. You can save your life a lot of times over here. Aiming, stamina regeneration, health regeneration after combat, and some of the other stuff if you like. Or more, health restore the medpack. Weapon changing speed, to be honest, none of these really makes sense, so pick whatever you like, but over here we'll have the recoil and the reload speed. These are nice as well, but you'll only be able to get them much later into the game or with the special squads. So what are the classes you should be adding to the squads? Well, always add an engineer, always add an anti-tank gunner if you like, and some of the squads will also have a radio operator. The radio operator can call an artillery barrage, but that's not all they can do. The more important thing is that you can basically call the artillery barrage with the squad just by pressing 7 if this is in your squad. Well, I said that's not all they can do, but they basically increase your score, or they can help defend or attack a location much better. But at the same time, you don't want to have one in each of your squads. So for example, I have one in this one and one in this one, but this one doesn't have one because it will be a little bit overkill to just put in every one, because it still has a cooldown of about 4 or 5 minutes, so you're only going to get to use about 3 artillery barrages per game, so you can even just put it in a single squad if you like. But every squad must have an engineer soldier or engineer unit, engineer person, yeah, that's the right word. So they can build respawn points for their entire team. After that, the anti-tank gunner is kind of nice, because you'll be able to destroy armor and do some other things, like for example with the PTRS. It's actually a pretty good sniping rifle, because it's a semi-automatic 5-round long-range rifle, and also the muzzle velocity, or the muzzle velocity is so much better than the other weapons. I think it's even more than the sniper rifles. Anyway, it's about 20% faster. The bullet speed is 20% faster, if I remember correctly. Then the heavy machine gunners will be amazing for holding out positions, or even attacking, or just going around the corners and some other things. Plus you'll get some interesting upgrades as well, because not all of these are the same. For example, some of them will have access to the backpack, some of them will not have access to the backpack, so bigger weapons means less space to carry stuff. And you should be playing more as an utility role in the beginning. That's why I said in the beginning you should play the engineer squad, because you'll be building stuff all over the place, which will help you understand the flow of the game. The snipers will allow you to kill people, and you'll see where people are kind of piling up to objectives, and then the medic squad will also help you a little bit if you want to learn more about the game, but later on you can just replace them with a medic in the truck. Now, why should you unlock the truck? Well, this is a spawn point. So if you are about 50 meters from an objective, yeah, you can spawn in this car, or squad members can spawn in it. The engineer can build a point, the respawn point, which should be more or less at the same distance, about 40 meters, 40-50 meters from the point. That means you can have 2 spawn points for your team, which is amazing. But also keep in mind that specialty squads will have even more interesting things. For example, I can build a heavy MG, I can build a spawn point, I can build an ammo crate. And just put the other people behind a door or I don't know, a wall, and they'll just wait over here while I shoot the heavy machine gun. And believe me, it's pretty hard to counter the heavy machine gun in the beginning of the game, but later on you'll just get smashed by snipers and airplanes dropping bombs. So yeah, heavy machine gun that can really shred. Also, keep in mind that this has infinite ammo and it can destroy even tanks. Why the assault squad? Well, you'll need a lot of assault squad troopers, because they have the automatic weapons, the SMGs, which will shred enemy players very fast, and it's kind of ideal to attack with them. Also regarding the upgrades, I think it's kind of, how should I put it? a bit misleading the way the game explains stuff too. You should always take the backpack slots, never take the secondary weapon slots because it's useless. What, you're going to use a shotgun? Might be worth it for some other squads, but believe me, if you have to choose between another secondary weapon or backpack slot, always choose the backpack slot. Even though it's not really ideal all the time, as you can see on this squad I have the secondary weapon slot unlocked because I want them to have the carab. I just want to have them a rifle with bayonet so they can also do melee attacks in case they run out of primary ammo. But most of the times it's just better to have a lot of grenades, but since it costs a lot of silver, you probably want to have the assault squad with the grenades and the large grenade pouches, and the submachine gunners, the SMGs, will have the Molotov cocktails because they want to attack and also defend the position. So every one of them will have the anti-personnel mine and the grenades, plus the heavy machine gunner, which is kind of like covering the rear a little bit. Also you can dig trenches with a shovel and you can put a respawn point in it and then also put a sandbag near it, so it's much harder to see and to destroy. So yeah, you kind of get the general idea of it right now. So you should have a special defense squad, which is the heavy machine gunner squad, which will have the secondary weapons in case you need to do long range sniping or just more precision shooting. Anti-charges and some other stuff will help a lot as well. But since this is a defensive squad, you can just put a TNT. Well, I don't have enough money right now, but at some point I'll do it. You can just put a TNT charge at the entrance of a building and they just detonate it when enemy soldiers are about to enter. The assault squad, as you can see, it's a little bit different because they are supposed to hold position. So enter a room, enter a building, put down the anti-personnel mines and then just start throwing molotovs everywhere whenever you see an enemy. And why do I prefer the anti-tank squad? Because as you saw, these two squads are very versatile. Throwing a lot of grenades, putting down the heavy machine gun, putting down mines or TNT charges. Well, simply put, they have a lot of utility, plus they will be the ones that you will be using to hunt armor. So as you can see, they also have the large grenade pouch because now it's actually affordable. And they also have, of course, the engineer and the other stuff, the heavy machine gunner. And so I kind of try to mix and match them a little bit. But they're basically specially designed to destroy armor, and also this guy will have grenades to throw them at entrances and do some other crazy stuff. But yeah, basically these guys are the demolition experts. You cannot really give them a better weapon. Later it will be a little better, but for now just it's okay like this. Focus on that. Now, other than that, why are my choices this tank over here and the mortar squad? Well, basically the mortar men on their own will also have their bonus, so you can be the best mortar squad of the game, and believe me, not a lot of people play the mortar squad, so it's pretty easy to get that little insignia. Also, if you are attacking a position that is in the open air, this will be massive, because sometimes I can kill 5 or 6 or 7 enemy soldiers just by using this one. Now, the mortar itself is very easy to use, but you also need a spotter, so if they don't spot the targets, it might be a little harder to use. And after that, this is also the hardest squad to level up in my opinion, because it took forever to level it up and I still haven't gotten to that part. But it's still worth it in my opinion, because they can also have an engineer, so you basically shoot away all of your ammo, then you go in the engineer and build a respawn point, and then we can also just throw the grenade packs, explosion packs over there. Also have an artillery, a radio operator, which can call down an artillery attack. So basically 2 artillery barrages in one squad. Plus I have also the assault squad, as you can see. I'll probably buy more stuff for this and kind of complete it. And this will be the main thing I'll be playing with, main soldier that I'll be playing with. You can also give them anti-tank mines, which will also be amazing. Probably I should give them the anti-tank mines over here, but I just like the anti-personnel. The anti-tank mines are not that useful because most people just keep the tanks very far away. Also do a video where I show how you play with this one. And as for the tank, just choose the tank with the most machine guns. In this case, it's this one. They have 3 machine guns for this tank. Very cool looking. Also keep in mind that you probably want to modify the camo. Mostly it's going to be a battle that has, I don't know, the best camouflage available to them. Just look at these guys. These guys are ready for war. As you can see, they have all of the main weapons, and this is how you can make your squads just be much better in the gameplay and choose a little bit better for your soldiers. So as you can see, I'm staying in tier 2 until I finish tier 3 research. When I finish tier 3 research, I should also have about 50,000 silver in order to equip the squads with all of that stuff. And we'll have to go all again with the squad leveling up, and that will be the annoying and boring part of the game. So they should really fix some of this stuff up as well, because you also have a limit to the amount of squads you can get. 34, and that's not enough, because you probably want to have about 5 squads per bracket. That means you'll have, for the first bracket, the second and the third, or I don't know, it's going to be hard, because you'll have basically 15 squads per faction, so you cannot have soldiers for 2 factions unless you go for the premium account, which will allow you to have more factions. So it's not even worth it to play more than one faction, because without the premium account available, not even be able to fill those squads, because sometimes you want to play at tier 1 to 3, sometimes tier 2 to 4, and sometimes, yeah, tier 4 to 5. Yeah, and as a last advice, if you want to play the game, make sure you take care of all of your squad's equipment, because it will be very important that everyone is equipped with stuff that you need. For example, the truck over here can have a medic, and the medic will be able to throw out the medic hitbox, which will mean you can get even more points out of this thing. I also give them the smoke grenade, because usually when you put down, when you exit the truck, you'll probably be under fire, so it's better to protect the truck sometimes, or to attack a position. The driver can also have an SMG, which is something I kind of neglected. Plus these guys also will need their own mines. Probably these guys will be the one that have anti-tank mines. I guess I can start buying 1 or 2 right now so you can see, but they're super expensive, and that's why not many people use them, or when they use them sparingly. Then you have the heavy machine gunner. So as you can see, the driving squad is also one of the best squads as well, because it has so much versatility and utility. I also have to change this selection. I don't know why I keep choosing the secondary weapons. They're not worth it, believe me. Because having another weapon most of the times is not really worth it. Most of the times you'll not even finish the primary ammo for the first one. So yeah, medic plus truck plus the medkit box and some of the other things we can do over here. Just be a good supplement to everything you can do. So yeah, this is kind of like my tier 2 farming build, and I'll probably farm until I get to tier 3, and then I'll probably play with the Japanese so you can see how it is to play in the beginning. You will need about, let me see, I played about 61 hours, but now since it's easier, you'll probably need to play about 20 to 30 hours if you buy the premium account, or 60 hours if you don't buy the premium account to get to this point. So yeah, even though they reduce the amount of stuff you need, it's still pretty much a one-sided contest of grind. Because it took me 60 hours to get to this point with the premium account. So if you don't have the premium account, even with the recent changes, it will still take you 60 hours, because that's more or less playing without it. So yeah, you'll still be stuck in tier 2 after 50 or 60 hours, so good luck, bye bye.